Hey, sorry about that. That was super weird. Like Zoom just it just got tired, I guess, and like flipped the desk up, and it's like I want to go home. So and it only had to wait a couple more minutes because we're almost done. So I don't know which one of you sweat hogs pressed the end class early button, but anyway. Sorry, Sweat Hog is a reference to a show called Welcome Back, Kotter from the '70s. Okay, because out of context, that might be very, very offensive. I apologize. And yeah, so you know what? I don't think I've ever made. No, I probably made a Welcome Back, Kotter reference in the class before. Never mind. Yeah, sorry. Okay, good. Glad a couple people got the Welcome Back, Kotter reference, but I still apologize. Okay. Uh, totally broke my flow. That was so weird. Wow. Okay. Um. So the whole idea behind the Java cones is that this is something that please start this week, and just like over time, make sure you're keeping up. And if you have questions, there is a cones channel here on Slack. If you have questions or if hey, maybe there's something that you find that's like really cool, bring it up there. And this again is due in I think was that 4 weeks? It's July 20th. Yeah. So that goes there. Okay. Any questions on the cones? Let's see here, and that is it for tonight, and that is plenty. Yeah, right. So, okay, let's just review. So, between now and next week, when we all get back together again, please do several things. Go through the Getting Started repository, and make your own GitHub repository in a private repository for this term, following the magical instructions. And then create run the survey program to get that me.xml file. That must be done on the PSU machines. And while you're on the PSU machines, might as well create your projects for project one by running the create first project script, and create the cones project by running the create cones project script. You don't need to create the student project. You can if you want to play along with it or follow along with me, but that's not required. And then check out the course's webpage for the links if you need to review the syllabus, or and then I also, if you haven't already, watch the screencast or go over the slides for JUnit and for Maven. I think that'll give you a much better idea of some of the things that we saw tonight. And then break ground on the projects. Start in on the cones. Start thinking about project one, and we'll cover things next week like how to submit, and we'll see a lot more test-driven development next week to give you an idea there. We'll also talk about some of the requirements for testing your projects and documenting your projects. So lots of cool stuff coming up next week too. So, any final questions, comments, feedback before we break?
Maybe a few quick questions.
Absolutely.
For the quiz, should we study for those, or
the quizzes,
how do we go about
that? Yeah, so let's talk about the quizzes. So summer, and let me go into student view here so you can see, or so I can see what you see. So what I have tried to do, what I've done is that everybody should have like all the quizzes, and we'll talk about plan of attacks next week and projects and stuff that are due. I tried to put, I tried to make Canvas sort of the one calendar. Everything is on the website, but I know actually it's kind of funny. Like my kids who are like in middle school and high school use Canvas through the school district. So actually, they were laughing at me pretty hard when we went from D2L to Canvas. Like, haha, you got to use that now too. I'm like, okay, fine. But anyway, so what I've tried to do is give you all the assignments there on the calendar. So if you look at the calendar, you should see all the assignments for the course, so you know what is due when. Oh, it's probably nothing. How come oh, there you go. Like Yeah, quiz 1 is due next week. Quiz 1 actually is not something that you can study for. If you go and look at it, it's just asking about your programming background. While there are right and wrong answers, it's not something you need to study for. And in general, the content on the quizzes background I hate that. Are aligned with the content for the project that's due that week. So like my intent is that the things you study for your project are the things that are on the quiz. I think I usually get that right in terms of getting things lined up. So, the intent is that by doing the project, that's the studying for the quiz. But, I think if you do want to study, just look over the lecture notes, right? And I start to tell you what the topic's going to be, Java language and OOP, that corresponds to some lecture notes. Go look at those and sort of remind yourself what that's all about. So yeah, that's probably the best way to study for the quizzes.
And is it like multiple choice or is it?
They're all short answer, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there a question here? I think the quiz like 25 minutes or something like that. I mean, that's how much time I give you. I think each one has like 3 or 4 questions. So three or 4 short answer questions. I think maybe. I have not. Students have not used the word brutal. Yeah. So no, I don't think they're no, and they're not intended to be. No, it really is. If you've done the projects, you've understood the concepts for the projects, and you've watched the lectures, which you need to do the projects, right? So I think overall, and here again, they're not intended. What you're assessed on is the projects, right? It's a programming course, and so it's like, can you program? Not, do you know the details of every API, or hey, here's an electric key problem, and I need you to, implement it using only, pencil and paper and a slide rule. Yep. Let's see here. Oh, other questions. I guess someone was trying to use Canvas. Actually, I said D2L, but probably my Canvas on their phone. Yeah, no idea. I can barely use it on my computer. So yeah, maybe it needs to be a real machine. I'll try to remember to also post something on Slack about what to do next week. However, it's all on the homepage too, right? So the way I have this organized, the way I do is that, hey, tomorrow when you wake up and it's like, did I dream that class last night because it was so long you fell asleep? Look here to figure out what we did. I will post the recording either later tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on when it's done. And I'll try to do chapter marks too. I did that last year. I figured out a pretty fast way to do it, so I'll try to do that too. And of course, and if anyone here wants to add a chapter mark, just send me like a title and a timestamp, and I'll be happy to add that to YouTube. I think that really helps because it's like, oh yeah, I want to go. He was talking about those cone things. What the hell is all that about? It's nice to be able to fast forward to that point. So I'll try to do that for you too.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Regarding doing the projects, apart from the Slack channel, is it to be done in groups or we have to do it individually?
The projects are individual work. The mob programming and pair programming in class activities is group work.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Right. Yep. Oh, and someone said the Java cones was two days ago. That is not correct. Maybe, you know what? I wonder if I put June instead of July on the assignment. That would not surprise me somehow. No, July 20th. Phew. Okay. Yeah. All those J months look like me. Don't worry about it. It's off by 1 error, right? Yeah. It was not due 2 days ago. That would be a cruel trick.
How are we going to know about the pair programming and stuff before they happen?
Okay, I'm sorry. Wait, 2 questions right at the same time. I heard the one in the classroom. Required reading, highly suggested reading. I mean, I'm not going to test you on the before class review the following materials, but you'll get more out of class. You'll feel less lost if you review stuff beforehand. Oh, Thinking in Java book. It's just a reference, so I don't follow the book. It's a good book. It's an old book by now. I should probably find a better reference, but there are other things I'd rather dedicate my time to than trying to figure out what a good Java textbook is these days. So no, there's not like, not like, okay, read chapters, 2 through 5. Or nope, I have no idea what's in chapter 3. I haven't read this thing in 20 years, right? So yeah. Yep, it's a good reference for that, and you can also look up things in the online Java docs or Stack Overflow. Again, it's like use the internet for your projects, just not for the quizzes, because there are some specific things about like, hey, what does this class do in a quiz? And the graders can tell when someone's just like copied and pasted something from like a Java doc or from something that sounds a little too formal for it to be a student, and they can go find that pretty easily. So, yeah. Sorry, there was also a question from someone on Zoom. Nope. Okay, since someone did ask, are we going to be told about pair programming assignments during class time before they happen? They are also here on the home page. I believe our first pair mob programming kata is on July 6th. So not next week, but the week after, we'll be learning about pair mob programming, and they'll be doing some pair and mob programming. Our first kata will be foo bar quicks. So if you can you can read ahead. Feel free to do that. But on July 6th, we will have our first pair programming activity. Cool. Anything else? Oh, yeah, right. And for now, well, and as more things pop up, please ask them on Slack. There are a couple channels to choose from. And hey, if you don't hear from me in like 18 hours, at mention me or something to get my attention. Oh, sorry, did I have one more? Yeah. 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 Email is fine. No. No. So my office hour. I mean, I have office hours like right before class because I'm right down here. It used to be like we used to like my for years. My office hours were at Hot Lips Pizza because I'd be sitting there eating pizza and like some students would come by. Now Hot Lips is closed unfortunately, and have a good right. Yeah. So but no. But also, you said, yeah, you have a job, you're taking classes. Well, I have a job too, and I'm teaching classes, and so yeah, it's not like I got time during the day to come down to campus and like or go to like the university lounge or whatever and talk about it. Yeah. So so yes, asynchronous communication is the name of the game in this class, and I prefer a Slack, and I prefer public channels so that everybody can see the answer. That sort of saves me time from having to say, this person had a really great question, and I'm going to share it with everybody else because everybody ought to know this, right? So, but yes, asynchronous communication is how the vast majority of it works, because this is our time for synchronous communication, as a matter of fact. But I'm sure there are a lot of people who will be watching this after the fact because, yeah, they got other things to do too. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Awesome. Okay. Hey, thank you very much, everybody. I know it's a really long night. We'll have another one of these next week. Sorry. But then after that, the flow of the course will change a little bit. But these first couple of weeks are about getting up to speed. And so, yeah, look forward to seeing everybody again next week. Stay safe, stay cool, and we'll see you then. Yep. Good night now.